What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Shani, and welcome back to the Women's Palace. So today, I really want to just basically tell you guys to watch what you say, watch what you think. Don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to say, oh, it couldn't be me or that couldn't be me when you see other people's situation. Because God has a funny way of putting you right in that situation and letting you know that very much can't be you. And I feel like growing up, I didn't been there and I done that. I would laugh at somebody's situation or put myself, oh, that couldn't be me. And God have a funny way of putting you in that situation. Like, oh, remember what you said? Like, you have to be able to realize that we are not put on this earth to judge. We all have problems. We all go through something. Yes, it may not be somebody else's experience, but that doesn't mean that God can't put you in that experience because you are judging. But you're so quick to say, oh, that couldn't be me. Anything can be you. I want you to be able to realize that we're not perfect. We are human. And sometimes, as humans, when it's not us, we don't have the sympathy. We don't have the compassion. There we go. We don't have the compassion when somebody else is being put on Front Street, not realizing you can be put on Front Street too. You got to always put yourself in people's situations. And I'm just learning within myself to be able to be first careful of what comes out my mouth. Every idle word you will give an account for. Two, even being in your head about it, because this is not just exempt from, oh, I'm not going to speak it out loud, but I'm thinking it, because God knows your thoughts. God knows what you're thinking. Oh, that couldn't be me. Or finding a woman's situation funny or finding a man's situation funny. That's not funny, because if it was you on the other foot, it would be a different story. So I just say to give compassion. Don't always feel like this can't be you, because it very much can be you, because we are human and we are experiencing things. And sometimes God needs you to experience something you laughed at so you can know not to laugh the next time. We're human. We go through things. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I feel like we put on this expectation like we're so perfect and nobody else is like, no, nobody's perfect. Not even you. As I always say, God is all about putting a mirror in front of your face. You're not as perfect as you think. You're not all that hip as you think. And that's okay. But this is just goes back to stop always judging somebody else. Stop always being in somebody else's business or laughing at somebody's situation, because you never know. Life has a funny way. God has a funny way of showing you what can exactly be you. And I had said this because I was watching this video earlier of this woman and this man, and they were basically talking about a situation. I really don't want to go into it. They were talking about a situation that we're going through in the comments. These people were just like really just attacking these people, and they were just like, it couldn't be me, my man could never, and all this. And God spoke to me through that, and he was saying that very much can be them. Like, people think in the moment, oh, that's so embarrassing. Life is embarrassing. Like, you feel me? Sometimes you got to put out what I had to realize with God. Sometimes God would allow it to go public. So what you reveal, how can somebody be able to come at you? Like, oh, you did this. Well, if I told you that, how you using something against me that I told you? Like, I told you. Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, it's messy, it's muddy, it's a mess. But guess what? That's life. We're human. We're going to get messy. We're going to get dirty. And sometimes we can try to keep it so close to a point that it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't. You're putting it in the secret, not realizing God says everything must come to the light. Everything that's done in the dark must come to the light. It's a testimony. So the fact that I'm telling you this, that I went through this, yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, you feel me? I wouldn't want to be in this situation. But guess what? I put it out there and I overcame. And that shows, that can give somebody else hope, even though it's messy, even though it's dirty, because that's life. But when you laughing at somebody, when you putting yourself out, oh, that can never be me, God gonna show you how it can just exactly be you. That's why you gotta watch what you think. That's why you gotta watch what come out your mouth. Because let me tell you something, baby, life is messy. We're all gonna have embarrassing situations. We're all gonna be put in situations where we wish we wouldn't been put in. We're gonna be played like a dog. We're gonna look stupid. As God always told me, you got to be a fool to become wise. But guess what? You don't have to judge. You don't have to be able to laugh at somebody else. You don't have to put yourself in situations, unnecessary trials, unnecessary messiness because you want to laugh at somebody. You want to be able to put your mouth on somebody that you don't know nothing about, because what God had to make me realize, baby, all y'all my children. Like I'd say, that's what really changed me. Be able to, God, give me your eyes. He had to make me realize everybody my children in this world. So you think I love you and I don't love them just because they in they mess? Baby, you in your mess too. You just can't see your mess how you see they mess because you on the outside looking in. But guess what? Let me turn this mirror on you. You messy too. But guess what? Does that mean I love you any less? No. But you got to realize what life is. It's messy. It's dirty. But guess what? That don't give you the right to talk about somebody else's mess when you got mess. You sitting up in mess too. But your mess not on Front Street. But since they mess on front, that couldn't be me. That's going to make me feel good about myself. Oh, yeah, they messy. You messy too. Yours is just not on Front Street. But if God put it on Front Street, how you gonna feel if what you say about somebody else says somebody about you? God always tell me, put yourself in people's shoes. You know what? I'm not being judgmental. And that's why I stopped being judgmental. I stopped sitting there saying, oh, what is your opinion? It's not my opinion. You know what? I'm going to give a blessing. I'm going to pray for you because I see the devil working in your life. So guess what? I'm going to pray for you so I can be able to put out what I want to come back to me. Maybe somebody can pray for me if I ever get in that situation, because I'm not going to sit here and say it couldn't be me, because life have a funny way of showing people real fast how that exactly can be you. So it's all about just putting yourself in other people's shoes and realizing that God is with them too. God loves them too, even in their slumber. Like it says, can't nothing separate us from God. God's love, no sin, no devil, no none of that can separate us from God's love. So just because somebody else is in sin doesn't mean God doesn't love them. Just because somebody else is going through a tragedy or whatever the case may be doesn't mean God doesn't love them. So guess what? Pray for them people. Because you want somebody to pray for you if life hits you, because life is going to hit you. And you got to understand life is messy. So you're going to find yourself in some mess. You're going to find yourself in some embarrassing moments. But guess what? What you give to others is going to be given unto you. So if you laughing and doing all this, some people don't even realize that they get this laughing, they get this hate. They don't get no support because they never support. How can you get support if you ain't never gave it out? You just so busy trying to feel good about your mess. You want to put somebody else on mess. Oh, it couldn't be me. Ha, ha, ha. I can't believe that man is stupid. And you not? Like God is making me realize, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Too many people got too much energy putting into other people than to be worried about themselves, because everybody got mess. Some messes is just out in the open and some is closed. But that doesn't mean that it ain't going to come to the light one day. That doesn't mean it's not going to be you one day. Have compassion. Be able to understand. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't get so caught up on the laughs. Don't get so caught up on the trends. Oh, everybody talking about them. Let me be the next. No, turn the other cheek. Pray for them people. You know what? I can see how the devil's working through them. I pray against them, Father. Put your protection over them, Father. Give them the grace. Give them the mercy. Give them the strength. Give them the healing that they need. Baby, because when it's my turn, I'm going to want somebody to do that for me. When it's my turn, I'm going to be able to want somebody to look at me and pray for me in a situation, because we all got to deal with the devil. We all got fiery darts aimed at us, ready to go, ready to be in public. That stuff ain't nice. And God really had to teach me that. And I learned that because I would talk about people when I was in the world. I would talk about people and I find myself in the same situation I talked about them in. And God reminds me, like, God has a way of letting you know, like, God will love you and still spank you. You remember what you did when you said that about that girl, or you said that about him? Look at you now. And it ain't always about it just condemning you. It's about correcting you. Now that you know that you can be put in the same situation, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, what you say to people. Watch how you judge people. Watch what come out your mouth. Because you don't know what people go through. You don't know. People only look at the outside and they feel like they know it all. And it couldn't be me. Never, ever, ever. And my man and this and my baby, we are human. That man is a human being. And he's going to mess up just like you going to mess up. And guess what? You got to have Jesus in that thing for it to even be somewhat perfect. Because like I said, nobody's perfect. I know this kind of went over, but I want people to be able to get the sense of have compassion. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Lend out a hand. I've always gone with the crowd. The crowd is on its way to destruction. Have the courage to turn the other cheek. Have the courage to do a different thing. Even if the whole world laughing at him, you don't laugh at him. Because you know what a man sows, he will reap. Be wise. And as I always say, go out and be a light in this world. A light consists of being generous, having compassion, being the light in the dark world around these evil people. Change the narrative, because you got to understand, you sow, you will reap. Stop judging a book by its cover. Stop saying it can't be me, because it can be you. And understand that life is messy, and life is just a mess, and it's very embarrassing at times. And guess what? Have that compassion, because it can be you.